Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reaction Podcast. Today, we're joined by a true artiste of the algorithm, a trendsetter extraordinaire, a man who's made more original content than half of YouTube put together. Please welcome friend of the show, Mao. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, finally.
Now, please tell the audience a little bit about yourself in between those very heavy vape puffs.
So I made Squidward Community College when I was 16 years old, and I've just been winging it from there. I've just been going with everyone's telling me to. I joined the left when I was 17 because I named myself Mao, and everyone thought I was communist. And I've just been going with it. I've been running with it. I'm seeing how far this can go.
Yeah, this can go pretty far. Next thing, you're going to join actual Maoist guerrillas. But I honestly think like a lot of people thought that it was a very ironic name, which I'm pretty sure it probably was in the beginning. And then you started like positively interacting with some leftists in the general, online space. And people were like, wait, it's not just ironic. The guy's actually based from one side, and from the other side, they were like, wait, he's not racist? What the hell? Probably the level of mind blown when they also found out that, the white supremacists and shit that maybe liked the edginess and neutrality of some of your early stuff. Maybe we're also very blown away that you are part Filipino as well. But hey, we've been getting some impressive. What's the name, guys? The space a true Aryan goes to when they die.
Agartha.
Agartha. Yeah, we had. Hyperborea, all of it. We've had some very strong Agartha patriots coming to us from Asia. Some of them very terrifyingly, even did school shootings and stuff. So it wouldn't be surprising, but I am glad that you're one of the normals, even though with you, the definition of normal is a very wide spectrum. But still, thank you very much for taking the time. Anything you're working on right now that you would like to hype people up before we begin?
I'm working on some football videos. I like football right now. I'm giving up politics to talk about football.
Dude, I did that for a week or two as well.
Yeah.
World Cup, dude.
I've been reacting to football. I'm shifting to football right now, and I'm really excited to talk about football with you guys on this podcast.
Hell yeah. That's why it's called The Reaction. We react to football,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
or soccer, as Mike would call it,
So were you a big Argentine? Are you a big Argentine guy during the
World
Cup? Or
let's go! Perfect. Okay.
I need that country to burn right now, bro. And I'm not even talking about football.
Okay, let's do it.
I ain't even talk about football.
Let's start with one of the most famous athletes that has left us last year. On the day after 9/11, 2025, Charlie Kirk was killed. He die. The American right went up in arms everywhere from mainstream news coverage to online talking heads. A call for cleansing was heard. A call to finally deal with the degenerates spoiling our great land. Shit was about to go down, and then it didn't. People probably started watching football, but Charlie Kirk beat Harambe as the #1 dead thing meme and took over our front pages for a whole year. Now, as the resident expert on internet culture, I must ask, why do you think this happened? How did a supposed national hero get turned into brain rot so quickly?
Because it was the most random death ever. I remember hearing the news and watching the video and thinking, who the fuck shot Charlie Kirk? And now I gotta see his
Oh,
blood
God.
spill everywhere. It's fucking Charlie Kirk. Who felt this strongly about the guy to kill him?
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe it.
I think that's obviously true, but what about the idea of how much the right tried to make everybody solemn, right? There was like this authoritarian push. So you're right about the randomness, of course, but then also the right is like, how dare you make fun of Charlie Kirk? And then did a crusade to like get everyone fired who made fun of it or said, you know, that maybe he deserved it because he was so virulently against gun control. You think that played a part as well?
Oh yeah, that added to the fire, right? It's because not only it was just Charlie Kirk, dude. No one cared this much. You did not care this much before. Now you're doxing people, harassing people online, spending all your hours online defending this man's honor and legacy. It's like no one ever thought they would do this with their lives. I can't believe this is happening. You know, it added to the absurdity. More memes got made about it. It was just if you're on one side of the pond, it was really funny.
Oh, yes.
And I feel like I think everybody, even the Americans, we all are, it's now pure meme.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I have to say the Americans kind of pussied out in the beginning. Please continue.
This will add to that. On the day, I tweeted out, "This is horrible. The right is going to use this man's death as a launching pad for more violence, more hatred, big talking points, because he was killed right in front of us. It was wrong. It could be perceived as wrong. It was wrong." And I was scared. I was like, fuck, the right got this over us. We actually killed a guy. It's not right. And then a week later, I quote tweeted that tweet and I said, never mind. Never mind. That shit did not happen.
You want to see what I tweeted?
Yeah.
I said, right after blaming me for Charlie Kirk, Ethan Klein began to watch himself doing blackface on his stream. Let me show you this tweet.
Right after blaming me for the Charlie Kirk assassination, Ethan Klein began watching himself doing blackface on his stream. You can't write this. That's why the writing in real life is so much better than anything scripted. Because as Mao said, like if it was scripted, like they would kill like an actual like mega influential figure. It would like make sense immediately. But the writing in real life always catches you by surprise, including watching yourself during blackface after crying about a national hero losing his life. But what I wanted to say earlier is I genuinely felt slightly disappointed in a lot of people, including at first even by Mao, but not by him only. When the first interaction, like the first reaction, the first 24 hours by everybody, because everybody was so confused about like where this can potentially go, was so intense. And then a moment passed and I realized the reason I wasn't scared is because I'm completely fucking anonymous and I wear a ski mask on my fucking head while I talk on the internet, while some other people live across the pond and can have their head blown off. But I guess thank God it was Charlie Kirk and nobody managed to care for long enough.
I don't know how strong the comparison is, and I said I don't want to make the comparison that strongly in the episode we did on Charlie Kirk and, you know, his death. But like with Horst Wessel, who everyone compared this to, even with him, like Goebbels in his diary wrote that like Adolf Hitler decided not to even show up to his funeral. Oh well. Like it's not like this hasn't happened before. I think like historically people kind of didn't give a shit when they tried to too hard to make someone a martyr like this.
Yeah.
Fair. That's a good point.
I think the context of Charlie Kirk is that he was just a kind of grifter, chill scumbag, right? So at the end of the day, no one really took him seriously as a thinker or anybody who occupied space. He was just there to take money from deranged conservative boomers and convince them that he was making inroads with the youth.
Yeah, right.
And so when he was killed, it's exactly as Mao said. It's like, who the fuck gave a shit about this guy? Like, he was only there to convert boomer dollars into millennial money.
What was he known for before getting shot? He had a small face. He ran Toilet Paper USA. He was on PragerU a few times, maybe once. He liked Starbucks. His haircut was dead. It's like, well, no one cared this much. It's like barely his politics, Loki.
Well, he would go to college campuses and yell at like 18-year-olds who were with purple hair.
Oh yeah.
And that was basically just it's just a way of that, force feeding anti-SJW content to like the most drooling troglodytic moron conservative. And that's basically their entire media diet, is watching people like Charlie Kirk or all the other content creators we made fun of on this platform. That is a lot of people's lives. Like, imagine waking up in the morning and turning on Charlie Kirk debates anonymous 18-year-old college student named Lily about why trans people deserve less. Like, that's literally the conservatives' lives now.
I have a really good question I need to ask Mao about this, because what you're describing right now, deadass, feels like a conservative, like, sort of boomer version of a form of brain rot. Like, this isn't a real thing that they're being, like, really concerned about and stuff. And I want to ask you, Mao, on this. Do you think that being submerged in internet brain rot, desensitization to violence, or staring at live leak videos all day, or having a terminally online existence pushes people, like, either to the right or the left?
You are what you feed your mind, If you spend all day watching, say, Live Leak, like, for a real example, like African kids getting butchered, and you share that around with your faceless internet friends, then you're gonna develop this view of what lives matter, what lives don't, what is funny. And
Yeah.
I think isolation, because I don't care if you've got internet friends or you chat on forums every day, it's not real social engagement. So you start building this persona within yourself that's so detached from reality, you go to extremes so easily. And I think that is more, okay, I was gonna say that's more in line with the right, but there's too many examples of that happening on the left as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to say that confidently. Let's just say extremes.
Well, no, I mean, I think this phenomenon makes a lot of sense, right? Which is the nature of these platforms. We're going to get more into it, but it incentivizes you to individualize. And one of the ways that you can become an individual different than other people is to have the most extreme politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody else is, how many Posadas do we got in the chat, right? So by you kind of embody this more extreme version of yourself, and you get to do it from the safety of anonymity of the internet, right? Like, you're not suffering consequences for pushing, your politics further and further. And because you're not connected to an actual IRL community, you also don't have any responsibility. So therefore, like, if you offend people, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, they're anonymous, they're atomized, they're replaceable. And so it creates a kind of simulacra of left-wing politics, right? Or you could even have a fandom. It's like parasocial with the historical figures of the left, right? Like, you have a parasocial relationship with Lenin, or maybe Chairman Mao. That's not related to the historical socialist movement within those countries that gave rise to those leaders.
Yeah.
And so when you encounter someone in your own country who claims to be a socialist, but is connected to an actually existing project that is rooted firmly in, like, a neighborhood, and is trying to, like, persuade grandmas to show up and vote or protest or whatever, that's a different project than, presenting yourself next to the shiniest hammer and sickle.
I just wanted to add to that because that got me thinking. A lot of extremism is like, I see extremism as both a call to be unique and stand out, and as a call to find some sort of community. in both of those aspects stem from a lack of socialization and isolation. Extremism can be enticing to someone who's very lonely, who doesn't talk to people much, who's chronically online. That would push them towards that. It looks enticing to them.
Oh yeah, and then I mean, there's also the fact that like the conditions that you're discussing, not to monopolize the chat, but just to build off what you're saying, which is the system actually is getting worse. Like part of the reason why there's so much more extremism, as you point out, is because people's lives are actually worse. They are more disconnected. They have less sex. They have less relationships. They have less friends. They participate in activities less. You know, in the real world, they don't have third spaces. They're not integrated in their community. They don't know their neighbor. Like, you know, everybody is spinning off to be like perfect consumptive subject, and they're being pulled out of and away from the community in which they exist. And so, you know, there is as you rightly point out, a desperation to grab onto something, but that desperation is the result of the system itself failing to provide out for people. So on the one hand, it makes sense, but on the other hand, it is a reasonable reaction to a social animal being desocialized.
The reason you exist in these like echo chamber spaces in the first place is because you cannot find physical third spaces in which to interact with other people. So in your pursuit for community, you go into these spaces, and then in these spaces, because nothing really exists in, let's say, the fucking three-dimensional, everything is basically opinion. You are, sure, your avatar, your your profile photo, your fucking name, and the opinions that you have on the particular platform. And the people with edgier opinions obviously elevate themselves to a edgier and cooler status inside of that, for example, Discord server. While IRL, with your friend group or with your local community, etc., the way you position yourselves amongst others is not only based on the opinions that you have, right? Like you're the guy that drinks the beers, you're the guy that, you know, is the athlete, you were organizing a local runners club, which is actually secretly a place to have orgies in, etc. There are so many ways.
Many such cases, yeah.
In many such cases, and there are so many ways for you to kind of express a certain level of what it means to be you. While online, it's, especially again on forums and Discord servers and in locations such as this, it is the opinion that makes you. It is the only thing that can differentiate you from someone else. But there's so many of these spaces in which, for example, bigotry does not develop because they're kind of focused on something else. And when they're focused on something else, you know, you fight to be more, let's say, radical on the topic of biking because you're on a Discord server that's connected to biking. But in specifically political, openly political, or inviting to the so-called political spaces online, there is a strong tendency towards, in my opinion, being the right-wing type of edgelord. Because what's the left-wing type of edgelord? One could argue that it doesn't really exist. You know, the annoying.
And it's
leftist,
like, you know, the SARS kids deserved it, and it's like, okay, who cares? Like that's not like a real thing that anyone cares about right now, like in the real world.
Yeah.
Good example. Yeah, good example. It's like the definition of an annoying, you know, lefty that maybe even drops some brain rot from time to time is that they complain too much about who can say what and who can't say what. So you get pushed into maybe, yeah, sure, greater levels of isolation, but you don't develop as often this sort of very, very, very antisocial perspective towards both the self and others in your community as you turn yourself into a greater and greater edgelord by adopting more and more radical perspectives towards everything from social issues to economics and so on and so on.
But Mao, I want to ask something. With these like sort of insular groups, or these like very like faceless, kind of like not really communities, but like kind of communities, like these large Discords and all those places where people hang out online, do you think there are people purposefully like getting in there trying to like be like, I'm gonna be the guy to radicalize these guys into like becoming Nazis or shit like that, like looking to groom people in there? Do you think that's like a real thing that like happens to a great extent?
Now, I'm not like an expert in whatever's going on behind the scenes or what's actually happening within these communities, but I would have to imagine that in the back of a lot of people's minds, they are loyal to this community. I'm loyal to this viewpoint. I'm loyal to this community. I want to make people from this community laugh. Therefore, I will pump out content and memes and images and social media accounts reposting these that will perpetuate these viewpoints in order to make myself and my community happy. That leaches on to the rest of the internet, and we have to be exposed to it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say there's like an industry behind it. I don't think there's a man wearing a suit trying to pump these out, trying to like convince these 13-year-olds online to start making edgy right-wing or left-wing memes.
Yeah.
To make the world worse for some reason. I don't think there's like nothing like that going on.
But do you think there's like a utility for them for like other edgy right-wing teenagers to like maybe try to like hijack communities? Because you said like once that becomes like the culture in a community, they want to perpetuate it. You want to like, show your loyalty to the community. You adhere to the culture. So like what if someone was like, I want to change the culture in here?
I wouldn't say hijackings are purposeful. I think they just move towards something if they hear a dog whistle they think they hear.
Yeah.
Or this community already has aspects that they have in their own. Like, one example that comes to mind is like, ongezellig, that Dutch fucking animation on YouTube that's been co-opted by right-wingers for no fucking reason.
Oh, yeah,
because it's a show about teenage girls, and that's it. But it's so popular on 4chan Discord because it checks all the boxes in their brains of what they fucking like.
Yeah.
So that's like one example that comes to mind. I would have to say they are imagined. I don't think they're purposeful at all. I think you just gotta be really fucking unlucky. That's what happened with Pepe, right?
I think you're right.
I'd say so. I would say it's chance.
You do, but like when there's like a particular, let's say, meme or image or like style of content that is originally attempted to be, let's say, quote unquote, co-opted by a particular ideology, it's difficult, but very much so possible, in my modest opinion, to pull it out. So what I'm trying to say is I completely agree. Like, people, like, most of this shit is created by communities that want to make other people laugh, blah blah blah, and it goes out there in the ether. But then it gets continuously starts going through this content mill thing where it's continuously reinterpreted and reinterpreted and reinterpreted, and all of a sudden from a meme about a show about little girls, it turns into some sort of right-wing dog whistle. So that weird kind of like brain rot funnel from content's sake into political brain rot. How do you think that happens? Why do you think that happens? How's that ecosystem kind of continuously replicate itself for some fucking reason? You mentioned Pepe the Frog is a great example, for example.
How does it happen? I've got no fucking idea. But you jogged my memory on something that might relate to how this could happen. Back in like earlier this year or late last year, it turns out a bunch of like Twitter accounts that were posting right-wing content, right-wing memes, pro-Trump stuff, were all based in like India, or these right-wing accounts that were perpetuating right-wing stuff in Europe were coming from people of color, and they were all just trying to make a quick buck because it's so profitable. Well, I want to point out, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
With their accounts, they never really scratched the surface of this niche co-opted dog whistle stuff, right? You don't see the trad-based Pepe Le Frog Twitter account posting about Gezellig or War Thunder or shit like that. You only see that from organic communities. That's making me think that these co-ops are... Sorry, can you remind me the question again?
No, like how does something go from just being content for content's sake, be it like edgy shit or just fucking, classical memes, into becoming political content? So like the move from shit that people just post into this is now a dog whistle or whatever about a particular political movement. That pipeline, that path. You're onto something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that it's like, it just comes off as random. It just comes off as fucking random. I can't figure out how this would,
It's okay. Yeah.
how this even forms. It's just like this mass psychosis that people are sharing with each other online, that it gets repeated enough until it's just something that normal people have to deal with online. And I bring up those accounts that were half-heartedly run by people just trying to make a quick buck, that they never tapped into this part of the subculture, these co-ops, these niches that only people living in it would know, because it doesn't make sense to someone from the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like that industry, that is an actual like industry trying for mass appeal, whereas like you got the hardened core of the, you know, the Nazi edgy shit posters, the people like the true believers who, you know, want to watch Dutch cartoons about teenage girls instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like H&M trying to sell like luxury clothing that's, you know, been hand stitched in Italy for like last 300 years through like 15 generations of the same family. It looks the same. It even sometimes feels the same, but it doesn't come from the same place. It doesn't have that oomph, let's say, that an organic community really needs in order to develop it. So I think Mao is getting to a very, very fascinating, in my opinion, conclusion where the less actual organization there is behind, for example, creating edgy content to push people right, the better and sometimes even more successful it becomes towards fulfilling its utility, while the far more commercial approach ends up not having that ability. And that might even be very directly connected to our previous topic of Charlie Kirk, is because we kept getting this shit shoved up our throat. I mean, regular people, right? We're not a good example, but continuously shoved down their throat that they are supposed to care about this, and that is why they reacted by caring, but in the opposite way of what was to be expected. Well, if it was left alone, it might have been able to, let's say, better facilitate a true organic, political, even violent response as a product from it. So I don't know why we're giving advice to right-wingers right now. Like, don't make your shit look over.
Nazis, if you're listening, this is step-by-step guide.
Write this down.
Yeah, write this down. I mean, no, I think you're absolutely correct. It's like how in the UK you've got all these like race riots and shit that happen kind of spontaneously, and they always happen spontaneously for the most part, with some people trying to like push levers, of course, like Elon Musk and stuff. But like they always happen because of like something, like some rapid organic disinformation campaign usually, or at least it feels organic to the people. It doesn't feel like something that was pushed on them. I think you're onto something with that, yeah. Yeah, so on this podcast, we have talked about so-called right-wing comedy before. And I will have to apologize for this very Bill Maher-coded Unk-style question, but with edgy comedy or jokes, there's obviously a line. Where do we draw that line?
Well, it's obviously subjective. If you're asking me, where would I draw that line? I would say, God, I'd really have to work from the basics here. I think chopped up African kids are beyond the line.
Yes.
I'll say that pretty bravely.
Yep. Brave, yep.
War footage, that's also beyond the line, but slightly below that. I'm really working backwards here.
I love how you're like,
oh boy.
I think with this approach is you're possibly gonna dig yourself a grave at one point here. But keep going. We'll see where this goes. Yeah.
Jokes about World War II, casualties, I'd say.
Depends on which side.
Depends.
Yeah.
Civilian, no. Soldiers, yes.
The Holocaust is above that line.
Yeah.
Is that the line?
Well, it depends on which soldiers, I guess, right? Like if you're making fun of the Red Army casualties, then obviously I don't fuck with you.
Allied casualties, no go. German casualties, yes. Yeah.
But there you go. That's why it's subjective. That's what I mean.
Okay, the line's around there.
Yeah, that's where.
I mean, like, what do you think about 9/11? You know, is it okay to make fun of 9/11?
Every year that goes by, it goes further down the line.
So the further something is back in history, the easier it is, I guess, to not to get anybody pissed off, because there's almost nobody that's like related to somebody who got their head chopped off or thrown off a window, which makes a lot of sense.
Well, I guess that begs the question: do you guys remember 9/11?
Oh,
I do.
You're unk, bro.
I don't. I have. It's all implanted memories.
People got out on the balconies and started shooting in the air and playing very loud music.
Oh,
That's what I remember.
That's
from
crazy.
it. Yeah.
What, in Bulgaria?
Mao, you don't remember 9/11? You've forgotten?
No, dude, I wasn't even born.
You've forgotten yet?
But from your previous life, oh my God, my boy was born on 9/11. It's the reincarnation.
Holy shit! People are adults now that are before. God damn! I guess that was 25 years ago, huh?
Dude, in my head when you said that, I had like this idea of like a baby like starting to form consciousness, starting to say their first words, and they have like faint memories of piloting a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so good. Or the first thing they hear that you're getting born as the planes hit the tower, and the mother who happens to be like practicing of a religion that believes in what's it called, reincarnation.
Oh no, Muhammad Atta, welcome back.
Yeah, looks at the screen, looks at the baby, slowly starts grabbing a pillow and deciding.
Wait, what the? This was a fucking Brainrot meme like a few years ago. I swear to fucking God, I've seen this. We are all just like reconstructing from base principles, like some shit that
There is no originality.
there is no fucking. Anyways,
Oh wait, you're saying somebody else said Muhammad Atta, welcome back?
no, I mean obviously yes, but like in a different but in a different way. In the exact way with like the baby being reborn. But anyways, I wanted to say yeah.
Yeah.
But before you continue, sorry, it's crazy to act like I love how Mao is like being too modest today. One of the greatest moments of 9/11 discourse being restarted on the entirety of Twitter was when what was it, Mao? When you like reposted some shit about Bin Laden's motivation.
Yeah, I tweeted out on 9/11. On 9/11. I think it was like the fucking 20th anniversary or some shit. 24th, 25th. I was like, do Americans really not know why Bin Laden did that shit? Did he think they hated that they can vote or something?
Dude, that made Ethan Klein literally lose his entire fucking mind. It was the internet burned on that day.
Well, he's somebody who has mocked 9/11 himself, which is like, this is kind of the point that I was making.
But no, but Mao wasn't mocking 9/11. He was like, there are material factors that create terrorists, and then there's blowback effect, and that's why terrorists exist, and that's why they do things that they do. But everybody was like, oh my God, he's giving fucking ethical argumentation on why to bomb le building, le Pentagon.
Well, I mean, okay, hold on. Like, if we're going to be serious for a second, like the 9/11 itself, we're not just saying material conditions caused 9/11. That Osama bin Laden and the Islamist Mujahideen were directly supported by the United States government to fight the left and to fight pan-Arab nationalism, right? To fight the secular forces of the Middle East who might do decolonization and fight back against imperialism and might be more friendly to like the Soviet Union. So like when we say blowback for 9/11, we're tracing a direct line of this jihadist politics that at its rise in the Middle East is directly a result of active American support and intentional like effort to have a political way, organization that was against, secular Arab nationalism or decolonization politics. So that's why like the 9/11 joke, like saying America deserved 9/11 or whatever, all of that links back to a critique of American policy. That they're trying to make that illegal. They're trying to make the idea that you can point and draw these lines and connect and say, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe we shouldn't support far right politics for geopolitical advantage. They're trying to make that criticism to be beyond the pale, let alone, mocking the event itself.
I got a question. Do you think that like this was the message you were trying to get across, but unfortunately it resulted in like endless TikToks about Osama bin Laden's like motivations and shit? Because I saw a bunch of that, and I think you might have been the cause for it.
The origin of the tweet was that I was just making fun of my American girlfriend because she was telling me about how in school she would like every year on 9/11 they'd pass out
Oh,
these
yeah.
sheets on how how their family felt. Their teachers would stop lectures to talk about how they felt, and it would never be why 9/11 happened, which I felt like is a pretty important part of the fucking
Yeah.
story.
Yes.
They should teach kids that, right? Why did it fucking happen? And my girlfriend couldn't fucking answer. And I thought, this is funny. I'm gonna put this out there, see what happens, see how the
See
world
what
reacts to
Hey,
that.
I must be a truth teller.
And-
I love the honesty of like Mike giving a very eloquent, long explanation of what it is, and then Freda offering a perfect like branch, being like, "Was your motivation like this very smart shit that Mike just said?" And you're like, "No, my girlfriend." But no, afterwards you gave a good like basically
Yeah.
the same answer afterwards.
I do think, like, you know, him being younger than 9/11 and being an adult,
I'm younger than 9/11 is that's
like that's like
What,
that's
bro?
but that's like
I'm a whole year younger than 9/11.
9/11 to him is the same thing as Pearl Harbor. It's something that happened before, you know.
Hey, no,
before he was
no.
around.
No, Charlie Kirk getting killed is his 9/11 because that's the 9/11 he lived through.
That's your 9/11. Yeah.
Exactly. Charlie Kirk dying was his 9/11.
I remember where I was when I found out Charlie Kirk got shot, actually.
Oh,
It is my 9/11.
holy shit, dude! That's his Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well, tell us about it.
Yeah. Where were you? Yeah.
What were you doing when you found out?
Give us your Pearl Harbor.
What was I doing on September 10th, 2025? I was just sitting in my room with my brother. I was on Twitter. I was seeing some shit about Charlie, and I thought, yo, no way. Charlie got shot. What the fuck, dude? My brother was happy, but we didn't know he was dead yet until I found the video. I just watched it by myself. I saw the blood pour out. And I just turned to my brother and I said, yo, he's not coming back from that. He looks dead as fuck, dude.
I mean, you could see him lose about a gallon worth of weight there.
Yeah, it was over. And then Tim Pool tweeted, I sources telling me he's stable, please God.
I mean, I literally told everyone. I told everyone I knew. I told my friends. I told, like, my siblings. I texted them like it was 9/11. Like, oh my god. Charlie Kirk is fucking dead.
Are you okay?
Did you talk to your parents? I told my mom. I was like, Charlie Kirk is dead. And she's like, who's that?
Yeah, normal people. Fucking lovely. I actually was staying with my mom at that time, and she doesn't let anybody fucking smoke in the living room. But Charlie Kirk got killed, and I was doing a live stream, and I had to, do the smoke.
Oh, wait, that was when you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she walks in and she's like, "Where the fuck does it smell like cigarettes in the living room?" And I'm like, "Because Charlie Kirk died." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, honey," thinking that it's a friend of mine, and I had to light up a cigarette, like, because I was sad. Like, no, it's a fucking guy. Like, what guy? Mom, you don't want to fucking know. Let's just watch a movie. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
so-
I do want to ask though.
Yeah. Mhm.
Another thing, because every time like rightoids and like people who are a little bit too edgy maybe on the internet cross the line, everybody gets very upset. Mostly us on the left, and that I think, at least, I don't know if you agree. Often I feel like plays a little bit into their hand, where we get like a little bit too pearl clutchy. Do you agree with that? Like, it maybe is like counterproductive to give them that much attention and be like, oh no, he's so like evil and bad, when that's exactly why they're doing it.
I mean, this is just like the remnants of that 2016 culture
Yeah.
where you like trigger the feminazi, You remember the triggered meme?
Literally, like, yeah.
There was like this euphoria people were getting from fucking pissing off a lefty to an extreme degree. It carries on to today, and that's what a lot of people are doing now online on Twitter. People have based their whole fucking careers off of this shit. But like, who are we if we don't get mad at some bullshit, right?
I guess.
Who are we if there's a guy on the internet going N-word, 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 kill them all, and I'm not gonna go shut the fuck up, dude? What would I be if I don't do that?
So then I have a perfect follow-up question. How do you best cyberbully them into submission? Like, what's the strategy?
This is their world, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to think of a counter strategy because you're doing what they want.
Yeah.
But who are you if you don't do it, you know? My best strategy is if they got less than 30 followers, don't fucking bother.
Yeah.
If they got no clout, don't bother responding.
Wait, how many followers before you hit the red button?
Yeah, what's the number?
I would say, actually, no, I wouldn't be fussed if like 10K followers pissed me off. Maybe they would have to be above me.
Okay.
I would have to punch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. 60K.
Honestly, I need to follow that lesson for you for sure, because I definitely just reply sometimes to just randos for no reason.
I notice it, and I get so like concerned, like for a little brother, even though you're my bigger brother, and I'm like, why is he doing? Why again? And I can just imagine the redness of your face. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? It's a very masochistic drive. It's a very masochistic drive. You have to admit.
Oh no, it's the exact opposite. Where I just like to.
No, don't say it's principles or some shit like that. It's a masochistic.
It's not principles. It's like an intellectual talking up a loogie, right? You're just seeing something stupid and you're spitting on it. You know, that's it. But I still think it's much more healthy to just, hit the silent button, move on.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Why am I?
I'd say the rule is punch up.
Yeah.
That's a fair rule. That's a very fair rule.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I run like the YouTube when I like go after right-wing like history guys and stuff like that. Always punch up because like otherwise you're giving them more attention, you're giving them more clout. So if you are going after like some guy who's being edgy for clout and who's got 30 followers, you're giving him exactly what he wants.
I have a very controversial question that follows up on what we're talking about. Like, Freda asked, okay, what's the adequate way of responding? You gave a very good answer, like you're playing their game. So there's not really, if you respond, they win. If you don't respond, they win, etc., etc. But there is a relatively new movement called the very cringe name, at least, Dark Woke, which kind of says fight them with the same tools that you have at your disposal. I sometimes subscribe to some of the methodology, but some of them do really, really, really take it so far off field, in my modest opinion. I'm like, dude, you're doing you're literally just doing the thing that they just fucking did. So is Dark Woke cringe or based?
I've been working on Dark Woke in the laboratory for a few years now. Trying to perfect it. Trying to get the right formula. I'd say Dark Woke exists, but it's not there yet. You know what I mean? People push it too far, and it comes across as desperate and cringe if you do it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Practicing Dark Woke. Talk about this shit like it's real.
Fucks that Harry Potter shit.
Practice a Dark Woke. You're never gonna look like your opposition. You're never gonna take it too far. I feel like that's kind of like the formula of it.
Can I try to describe what I think of Dark Woke, which is like speaking about our enemies the way normal people speak about their enemies, as opposed to, there was this push in Woke One of like being empathetic to a fault. You know what I mean? Where, I don't want to call someone stupid because that's ableist, or I don't want to insult someone's weight because that's fat phobic, or I don't want to, make fun of someone being bald because that's bald phobic.
Thanks. Yep. Shout out.
Or they're short because that's shortism, or, and so everything was always like, well, just talk about the points. And you're talking to a Nazi who is telling you how we need to genocide everyone. And you called him a bald incel, and people would be like, you're not showing true empathy.
Yeah, my granddad's bald.
And I think Dark Woke is just being like, nah, fuck these guys. They're small dicks. They're pieces of shit. Fuck them. And feeling free to fight fire with fire a little bit.
I really fuck with that, and it's like the tool is neither ethical or unethical. It depends on who wields the tool. As fake deep as it sounds, that's really the case also with a literal hammer in real life as well as a rhetorical hammer. And it depends on where you take it and what intention you have with it. But the one thing that differentiates something that is, I don't know, dark woke versus it's just doing the same thing that they are doing, is going down the path of, I don't know, like, let's say there's a Indian account that makes a lot of money online off of pitching idiot like white supremacists to be bigger, edgy white supremacists. And then you find out that they're an account, a white supremacist account, mostly doing it for money, based in India. And your response is to call them slur that's applicable to Indians. Like, the fuck? It's not dark woke. You're just being a cunt. Like it's you're not attacking the content of what they've done. Hell, to an extent, you're becoming exactly very similar to what they are. So again, it's all about targeting, appropriate targeting of what you want to make fun of or kind of destabilize.
Yeah,
to use.
and also, like as well, Mao said, don't try too hard to be like, I'm gonna be the edgy person from the left. You know,
that might be the hardest part, because I feel like everybody just really kind of tries too hard.
Yeah,
It's a treadwire, man. Being dark woke is the hardest thing on earth. It is, man.
I know. I couldn't agree more. He's totally right.
They gotta pay you for this shit, honestly.
Well, I mean, I think there's the urge of being a cop, right? Like,
speak for yourself, brother.
that's what woke 1.0 was about. It was about being a kind of like self-deputized cop, where you're enforcing the rules on everybody and feeling like a position of power from calling people out and getting accountability or whatever the fuck that even means. And so that's just kind of the culture that we've unfortunately inculcated on the left. Not that I would know. I'm just observing from the center.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're centrists over here.
We're a centrist podcast here.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We're definitely not interviewing a guy called Mao. So,
Yeah, guy. Yeah, I've got one of your books, by the way, 1963 edition. Really good. Good shit.
pretty chill. Yeah,
Thank you.
he wasn't
Yeah.
wearing a mask back then. Yeah.
No, yeah. Also a lot more bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One trip to Turkey changes your life.
There's nobody in this world that reminds me more of my younger self than Wao Mao. But I don't want to scare Wao Mao by being like, oh my God, is that who I turn into in 15 years?
he's like, he heard that shit. I was like, oh no.
I'm not that old. I'm not that old. Okay.
And now for something completely different.
You've lived in Britain for the majority of your life, right? And actively engaged in British internet culture. How would you say it's different than the one in the States?
I haven't lived in Britain the majority of my life. I've only been here 5 years. I lived in the Philippines mostly. But I went to the States.
Hugo thought you were 11 years old.
Yeah, Hugo thought I was 11.
Oh, shit. I think you literally told me this. I think you literally told me that you lived in the UK for...
Yeah, but no, Britain, even while living in the Philippines, Britain was this shadow hanging over me that I knew I had to deal with one day. Now here I am, in the middle of it, with no escape plan. I'm stuck here. So I've had to familiarize myself a lot. And comparing it to the United States, I'd say... So America likes to talk about a lot how they're in a dying empire. Oh, I saw this meme on Threads where it says the average empire only lasts 250 years, and it's America's 250th birthday this year. You know what that means. Oh, the sun is setting on our empire. Shut the fuck up. I'm in a dead empire right fucking now. It's different, man. There's no hope. No hope. Things do not get better in England. Ever. It doesn't get better. It's like we elected our leftist party like nearly 2 years ago.
Okay, you're left wing, you're center left party.
Labour, by the way. Labour, who are colored red and are supposed to be socialist, by the way.
Absolutely. That's how it works, yeah.
Nothing's fucking changed. We still got our House of Lords. We got a fucking king, right? We got this council fucking bullshit. Oh God, there's so much aspects that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but Keir Starmer was like, "We're going to nationalize the railroads," and then he just immediately resigned.
Yeah, fuck is up with that? Dude, give me a fucking cheaper ticket now, please, bro.
The TFL fix this shit right now.
Nah, you actually... Oh, God,
I mean,
I'm actually getting triggered by this fucking question. It's so tough. It's so fucking tough in the UK.
Well, I mean, the so-called center left or whatever, they purged anybody who was willing to operate outside of this like status quo, and so there's the red Tories basically.
Well,
What's
yeah.
the difference between the Labour Party and the Tory Party?
Nah, I don't think it fucking matters anymore. We could elect Stalin tomorrow and nothing's gonna fucking change. I'm so pessimistic about the UK.
Do you think it's just like there's no hope for the English working class? Yeah.
Put me in power, you'll see change. Don't worry.
There's no hope. Lenin can come back tomorrow and he'll shrug his shoulders at the UK.
Say, I'm
Ask
good,
what
man.
to do
I'm
next.
good.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going back to the mausoleum.
Just turns around. I'm so done, bro.
Russia
I haven't
was
even
easy.
started, and I'm so done. that was such a great comparison, though, because there is a because the cope levels for example, British right have to be so much more intense because the empire is dead, right? Like the empire is not coming back. While the pitch of the American right, including the digital right and the organized political right or whatever is, we gotta preserve this shit, bro. Like this shit is going away, and the leftists are coming for it, and the Muslims are coming for it, and the minorities and the migrants are coming for it. But we have to protect it from going away. And there is something that can go away. It is a unipolar world power still to this day, as much as it pains me to fucking admit it. But in the UK, it's nothing. Remember that incredible interview when some lady is interviewing like a Chinese academic and like member of like higher echelons of the party, and they're talking about trade, and the lady says, what is China going to do to make sure that the Brits want to like trade more with you guys? And the Chinese dude, like genuinely shocked, goes like, what are we supposed to do to motivate you? Who the fuck are you? Like, bro, what? Why would we? And then he starts listing what China is number one in for like 5 minutes, and then says in the UK you just have fucking kebabs, and that's made by non-British people.
To be fair, they're pretty good, but yeah.
Like they're pretty good. Yeah. He doesn't say that, like, of course, but to an extent, that's what he says. So there's a constant. I always try to imagine the schizophrenia of an American right winger, but for a British one, it must be 10 times harder, man. Because it's like, what are you defending, dude? Yeah.
The British right wingers unironically like imagine themselves like the hobbits. Like they literally think like, what we're defending is like this countryside, like this, model village or whatever. And like that's what they're fighting for.
But then they don't live in it. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, no, they don't, obviously, yeah. And the village fucking sucks. It's like Slough, and everyone does like, crack or methamphetamine or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that I laughed. That's super fucked up, but
Yeah, because it's obviously because of like Thatcher stuff and everything. Yeah, it is fucked.
Yeah, it's very like, there you go. Like we did a certain level of, I guess, a self-orientalization by directly comparing the UK to the United States. But the UK is in such a position that we should probably, like, when talking about the position of the British right in the ecosystem of the international right, we should probably be comparing it more to like fucking places like Moldova, with all due respect, because it's like a bunch of guys are like, oh, remember ancient Moldova on 3 seas and shit. Like it's the same level, but because we are so, and now I'm gonna go like woke level 1 million, but because we're so injected with, unironically, like white supremacist definitions of what constitutes a civilized country and a successful country, so to such an extent, no matter how much of a, to an extent, shithole a Western, especially like North American and Western European country becomes, it's still just on street cred or whatever, is still like a very powerful nation and state that should only be compared to other very powerful nations and states. We all the time talk about American exceptionalism, but there definitely is like British exceptionalism, German exceptionalism. Don't even fucking get me started. The French are a little bit weird on this. French are just like, oh, my food is amazing, but they're never like, oh my God, we deserve to go all the way to Moscow, right? To an extent,
they do sometimes go like, our democracy is amazing and shit, even though it's
it's
fucking
fair.
nuts.
I
Yeah.
would say the UK economy is the Leonardo DiCaprio of economies.
Could you please elaborate?
The British economy likes to date 20-year-olds, no matter how old they are.
No, we're still getting pussy based on what we looked like 30 years ago, bro.
Oh no!
They think we're gonna come back any second.
Oh God, there's so much gold here. I swear to God.
Are there like any like, you know, I don't know, fucking content creators who are like prominent on the left in Britain at all? Like, does that exist?
Except for you, of course.
Yeah, of course.
There's Fat Memer spelled with a P. There's Fat Memer spelled with a PH, right? He talks about like, oh, I was nearly indoctrinated to the right, but I came to my senses. Then he makes a video about like chippy shops or some shit.
oh, what the fuck? He's got a video on the Lost Between Borders guy.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that guy.
Yeah, Lasse Lund.
That's
yeah.
all that comes to mind.
Literally, that's
there's
it,
Geopold.
yeah.
There's
Oh,
my friend Geopold.
Yep.
Yeah,
You did the
he
beer
talks about
review.
and shit.
I like Geopold, but no, he's, yeah. I always confuse him with the Georgian one. Like I know there's a British
geeky.
one and a Georgian one,
Yeah.
but no, they're sweet. They're babies. They'll grow up, but very good content though.
Yeah.
Very good content.
I
Geopold
can't
is
think
very
of
funny.
anything more, dude.
It feels fucking dire because like all the people who are like overtly political posting content in Britain are also like actually members of parliament, I feel like, and those people can't post for shit.
Yeah.
It's dreadful. Like you got like the Your Party people and shit like that, which
Yeah.
obviously don't get me started on that stuff. Like it doesn't feel like there's anything there. On that note though, I do want to ask, let's say, obviously this isn't you, but let's say you were a
Jimmy the Giant. I'm
Oh.
sorry, Jimmy the Giant. He's okay,
Okay,
as well.
okay.
Jimmy the Giant, that guy. I'm very sorry for that. I just wanted to mention. Please, yeah.
No worries. I was gonna say like, yeah, like let's say you were a content creator who's trying to do like, I don't know, British politics or whatever. You're trying to like break through with that, and you're trying to influence opinion in a way. I'm not obviously British. I'm Norwegian. I've got like 1 foot in Britain, but that's a whole different thing. And my stats on YouTube are like 43.3% American viewers and 6.5%, you know, Anglo-Saxon swamp dwellers. So let's say I was a British content creator. Why the fuck would I ever like cater to British people instead of just like trying to like chase the American bag? Do you think that like fucks up the whole like ecosystem and makes it so it doesn't really exist?
Wait, sorry, what would fuck up the ecosystem?
The fact that like there's like like 43% of your audience or like 50% of your audience will be American and like 6% will be
Oh.
British.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no. I see exactly what you mean. There is this Americanization of politics all over the world because it's easier to create content in that style, in language that they use, that Americans use, right?
Yeah.
And that would get clicks and get boosted in the algorithm. And therefore that leeches onto your own country's politics.
Yeah.
It's not just in Britain. Britain is a very good example of that kind of phenomenon. But that's happening all over the world as well. These dictators talking about woke and shit. It's like, shit, what the fuck? Who taught you that fucking word, dude?
You don't need to do that shit. Like,
Mike loves this. Yeah. Well, like half of fucking, we've said this a million times, like half of Asmongold's fucking viewership are Europeans.
No, it's
and-
more than that.
Yeah, more, exactly. And he doesn't talk about European politics
And
whatsoever.
they're mostly Northern Europeans too. They're Finns and they're Swedes and they're Norwegians.
Yeah, it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle, right? There's more money in talking about American politics, so everyone starts making videos about American politics,
Yeah.
and then everyone watches videos about American politics, and that feeds into itself, getting bigger and bigger to where this is now the terminology, these are the terms we're using, these are the sides. Now you're on one side or the other
Yeah.
now. Everyone on Earth
What-
is an undocumented American, except for Americans.
Yes.
I mean, unironically, that's kind of the way Americans think as well. Like, unironically, Americans think of other countries as desiring to be American, and you're not avoiding the allegations right now.
No, we're not, and that fucking sucks. Because like none of us actually fucking want this shit.
But you do. But here's the thing. Like, I'm gonna push back against you non-Americans for a second. You guys don't stand up to our country.
Listen,
Like your politics are and your media are completely subservient to the United States. And I don't
We
say
got a
that
few
to be a
countries
dick.
standing up.
I-
We got a brave man
Who?
in Iran standing up right now, actually.
Oh, that's what of course. I mean, yeah, but the Europeans, I mean, fuck. Ukraine just attacked an Iranian ship. You know what I mean? Like in the Black Sea. So the idea that there is any kind of pushback against American hegemony or empire or culture isn't really happening, no matter what America or Trump does. You guys are like sacrificing your own economies and your own happiness at the altar of like America continuing its empire.
I mean, that's because obviously, as well Mao said, like we are all kind of like slowly becoming Americans. It's kind of hard to fight back against this when you guys control the culture and control like the way politics is like talked about, and that is like pushed on us. Like it's a part of American soft power that's way more powerful than the fucking genes and whatever the fuck the quote is from Civilization.
And that's why the Great Chinese Firewall was the greatest fucking invention of all fucking time.
Yeah,
to
right.
fight
That's why they're
against the greatest American export, American culture, especially American cultural imperialism, as some would call it, is the best way to ensure not only financial, not only territorial, not only military sovereignty of your country, but also cultural sovereignty of your country. And this does not imply that, for example, the Chinese do not want to interact with people of the world and don't want to create a grander melting pot, etc., etc. One could argue that, for example, the People's Republic of China is one of the world's biggest fucking melting pots with so many different cultures and peoples living inside of it and having very full representation inside of the party that controls the country, etc., etc. No, it just wants to protect itself from a very overt, very direct, and sometimes very aggressive, because it's very much so pushed by the market because it makes a lot of money, American cultural hegemony. But that is something that is completely unsustainable in the long term. The main reason we are all Americans in one way, shape, or form is because we cannot compete with the amount of resources that the American, let's say, culture industry or media industry or whatever currently has. But as time progresses and as access to resources gets more, let's say, justly distributed due to the lack of potential imperial extraction, because of burgeoning contradictions. Now I'm just doing nerd shit. This is a centrist podcast. I apologize. There will literally not be enough money for Hollywood or whatever modern version of MTV we have to throw at American cultural products, and therefore their influence will also slowly decline. And if you're thinking, okay, but not everything is movies and music, there's so many people producing content, etc., etc. Well, the main reason most of the YouTubers you are listening to online are American is because that's the content that gets paid for the most, and that's the content that gets spread through the world the most, because almost all the platforms that it's positioned on are American as well. And as that democratizes,
there's the one thing that isn't like directly tied to like the economics of it, which is English, the language. Like that's the one thing, because like the Americans are the country, the largest population of like native English speakers in the world. So it's kind of like fucked to begin with in that regard.
All of it is combined, but the main reason most of us speak English, yes, okay, British Empire and so on, but also facilitated and continued due to
American cultural hegemony.
Hegemony and shit. Yeah. But okay, enough about nerd shit. Let's talk about shit is very important. H3H3. Tell us about your H3H3 saga. That shit was fucking whack. Please walk us through it.
Okay. It starts off weak and it ends off weak, but I think it's a story worth telling anyway. So I tweet out that 9/11 tweet. Do Americans really not know why 9/11 happened? Yada yada yada. H3 looks at it. I assume he sees my bio, where I describe myself as Hassan Piker's TikTok editor. And then
that's so fun.
Suddenly I'm in his sights. I'm enemy number 1 for that afternoon. He talks about it on his Instagram, screenshots my tweet, writes some fucking shit about it, blows it up. All of a sudden, I think he called me anti-Semitic, if memory serves me correctly, which is typical. And I'll make a video, talk about, yo, H3, what the fuck? This is blown out of proportion. This is not you, dude. I loved you as a kid, man. And I think that's as far as that went. It was a small part of a larger drama that was going on between him and Hassan Piker. And I think that tweet just blew the divide even more somehow. And that's what that's that legacy of that tweet is now. A whopping 2 years later, I get an email on my business account talking about I represent Ethan Klein of H3H3 Productions. It was the name of a real lawyer of a real law firm in London, talking about how I think it's a cease and desist where I need to shut up, I need to take down my tweets, I need to take down my video where I somehow proclaim H3H3 as a Zionist, and I need to take down my tweets of where I talk of how I talk about H3H3 does cocaine. The tweet goes, I'm so jealous of H3H3. It must feel so good to argue on cocaine. The way he acts in his videos, it looks like he is. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I think it's Tourette's, really.
You weren't making an averment of fact. You weren't saying that he does cocaine for sure.
No.
You were just saying that he appears to be intoxicated through the euphoria of arguing.
Yeah. That was the point of that tweet.
Yeah.
And I read the email.
It was almost like what we call a humorous in the comedic profession.
Some may say humorous. Some may say it's a JK. But as it progressed, I showed it to my lawyer friend. He took it as legit. And he started telling me things I can and can't do. He's like saying, okay, you can't call Ethan Klein a Zionist, but you can say he loves Palestinians being killed. And I said, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that out loud on the internet.
I would never say Ethan Klein of H3H3 loves seeing Palestinians get killed. Right, Mike? You would also never say...
I think it's safe to say that he is a Zionist. He believes in kind of the Israel as a Jewish state.
No. Mike would never say that.
Mike would never say, yeah. I'm currently averring as fact. No, I'm kidding. It's all satire.
It's all satire and a joke, and I'm drunk right now, so it doesn't matter. He also said, okay, you can't say Ethan does coke. You can't say he does meth. You could say he does heroin and crocodile and Viagra. You could say all of that. But you can't say cocaine anymore. And I said, got it. Okay, I'm going to make a video about this. I make a video.
Wait, what was the legal reasoning behind that? I'm fascinated.
I've got no idea. I don't know how the fucking law works, dude.
Yes, I guess he got cease and desist on those specific posts.
Yeah.
So he can't say that shit anymore, but he can say other shit until he gets a cease and desist on those.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense.
I read the words
cease
and desist on an email. I looked up the lawyer. I saw he was real. I looked at the law firm. I saw it was real. I thought, okay, I think I've got some content here. I'll make a video talking about all of that, and then I get help and notifications from people all around the world trying to piece together what this is. I think it was Gokunaro and another guy who I'm forgetting the name right now, which is unfortunate, because they helped me uncover that the email is fake. They took it's a random H3H3 fan who's been sending out fake cease and desists to people who have wronged H3H3. And they took a real lawyer and law firm's email to pose as them to get people all riled up and scared and shit. To fool idiots, right? Unfortunately, I am a fucking idiot. I got fooled. I just went about it in a different way than they expected. They thought I was going to shut up, but no, I just saw a money-making opportunity.
Content.
Bro, leaned into it, yeah.
So I made a follow-up video. Yeah, I was wrong. That thing was fake. Sorry, Ethan. Turns out you are a Zionist and you do love cocaine. I could say that legally now.
I don't think Ethan Klein is cool enough to buy cocaine. I don't think he has any friends with a connect. I don't think he could buy cocaine if he tried.
No. Oh well.
He sits in his shit-covered house in Bel Air, raging about the fact that nobody gives a shit about his opinion. That's about it.
Yeah.
But imagine if he did that on coke. Maybe Mao inspired something in him, and maybe he's finally happy because he discovered the beauty of Colombian pure, you know?
Yeah.
I think his heart would explode.
The fact that my boy, like there's a person out there who wakes up in the morning and says, I gotta do shit to protect Ethan fucking Klein to such an extent that they browse the internet and they find anyone who speaks ill of, again, Ethan fucking Klein. And then they do basically, I don't know, fake emails pretending to be a lawyer and probably a lot of other stuff to people that are their haters. Okay? This person views Ethan Klein as like a mentor figure, as a yogi, as a K-pop superstar.
Yeah, they're integral to their identity.
Yeah. Such an extent that they defend him. They're like a soldier, you know, in a digital form. And, you know, connecting to Mao's incredible joke from the beginning when he said, Kirk, really? Like, you're going to kill Kirk? What the fuck? I will ask, really, you're going to send fake fucking emails for Ethan Klein?
It's some fuck-ass YouTuber. Like, why?
It spices up life.
I guess. It spiced up your life.
People being die-hard about the most random things, it spices up life.
Yeah.
I would just love to hear a rant like from them on why Ethan Klein spices up their life. You know, you ask someone why they love alcohol. You love someone why they love like hiking. You ask someone why they love games. And they go on this like beautiful rant for like 15 minutes. You know, what it makes them feel like. They mention like their favorite memory with that particular experience, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a guy trying to do that sort of rant about Ethan Klein. I can't see it.
I think it would be like tremendously sad to listen to potentially, which is like, I don't want to hear that. I don't think it's like a cognito hazard.
It is.
Work.
There's no. The
People
answer is not on social media. It's with lawyers and reporters.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit, and it's driving me crazy.
I don't know what to tell you.
They go, oh, 2:30, you can't do anything. Really? I can't believe that a website just allows this level of harassment, and it's just like, oh, 2:30, you can't fucking. That's just
230.
Section 230. They can't be held responsible for what their users post.
So we kind of touched on this before, but what do you think about audience and algorithm capture? Which is, for the audience and listening to us now, the tendency of people who start making content that speaks to their creative impulses and then find themselves changing their content toward what performs with the algorithm. For example, what do you think of the Hassan hater pipeline, where so many formerly centrist creators got decent traction in an anti-Hassan slop video and then became drawn further and further right, chasing those views? What do you think about Ren is Due as an account of why there is a rightward drift, and what accounts for YouTube's consistent right-wing bias?
I think there is a clear favorability for right-wing content to make more money. They just have a larger online audience. They have more people willing to donate, more people willing to be loyal, a fan base that you could grow, being right-wing, talking shit on the left, talking shit on Hassan Piker specifically. Everyone's got one life, man. And if you found one way to chase a bag, you gotta take it. Doesn't matter what kind of man you were before, the second you find out how you make a bag, you take it. You think people grow up wanting to be McDonald's managers? Or was that the fastest way they could have made money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I think this is really interesting because I don't know that I necessarily 100% agree with the statement that the right has more presence online. I feel like it depends on the platform. Like if I'm on YouTube or I'm on Twitter.
I wouldn't say presence. I wasn't trying to say more presence. I would say more money.
I mean, certainly true. I agree with you, but I feel like on different platforms, there's a different like milieu, right? Like it definitely feels like YouTube and Twitter in particular it's a lot more lucrative to be a right winger.
Yeah, I mean, but
Right.
like, what are sites where it's lucrative to be a left winger? What? You gotta start posting on threads. You gotta start posting on threads before Twitter. Be honest. You gotta do that.
No, of course not. Of course not. No, you're right. But I do think like TikTok is probably more open to like left-leaning content than Twitter is.
And that's why the government's trying to get rid of it.
Well, they had the Ellisons buy it. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Like the Zionist Ellisons were basically use the federal government to pressure the Chinese to sell TikTok or like America's TikTok to pro-Zionists. So there seems to be. So are you saying that you believe that it is a kind of intentional act by billionaires or whatever, or is it just the way the algorithm has gone, or is it a combination?
The algorithm pertains to what you can't look away from. Therefore, right-wing content will get eyes from both the right and the left, because you can't look away from it. It's more profitable. The algorithm will favor it more.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on that though, because like you obviously at one point got demonetized, and like many of us like use Patreon as like the sort of safety net, I guess. Right wingers love GoFundMe campaigns, and they fucking love like I said the N-word, now give me $200,000, that kind of shit. Do you think like there's just more money to be gained from like crowdfunding on the right than it is on the left? Like, do you think we're fucking broke as shit on the left?
I think the right has tried to like build up this sense of we're all in this together. We gotta stick with each other. You gotta watch this right wing streaming service. You gotta subscribe to my right wing supplements, my right wing mugs, because it's right wing. You can't get this anywhere else, dude. You gotta buy mine. I think because that culture already exists, therefore crowdfunding isn't really a step away from what they already got.
Fair, yeah. Like the infrastructure already exists. Like they don't have to like build, like they don't have to like draw people to those places. They're already there, funding.
Gotta protect your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
And they already, like, if they're right wing, they already think commercially. So by saying we gotta protect our own, for leftists or even like a apolitical person, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, that does not immediately translate in you protect by consuming. You protect by engaging in a commercial activity.
Yeah.
Well, for them it literally is, especially with all due respect to our American audience, especially for Americans. But to buy is to be, and to buy right wing is to be right wing, which can also potentially be their downfall, because there's greater financial incentive in making slop than there is to politically organize. Because to politically organize, you will see the benefits of your movement like 50 years down the line, when one day you become Führer or whatever the fuck, while just making right wing slop gives you cash, money, and privileges immediately on the day after you click fucking upload. But hey, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, I mean, a lot of leftists I know in real life are going to spend their whole lives without buying a single piece of leftist merch or leftist memorabilia or subscribe to a leftist content creator. I don't see them doing that. They haven't done that. That's not in the DNA there.
Yeah.
It really isn't. That's why you should check out the Patreon down below, as well as Walmart's Patreon down below. Change your DNA, become a true mutant, and subscribe. In Fallout, they have the FPV virus. Here, we're giving the MPV virus, monetary. I don't fucking know.
That's good. That's good. Keep that in, editor. Keep that. Make that the intro, actually.
Yeah.
Jebemti mater, I don't know. Great, phenomenal. And also, we're forgetting. I mean, we're not forgetting, but we're forgetting that, like, sure, they get a lot of money from selling merch, from consumerism, from crowdfunding, but they also just get money from like billionaires. Like we don't have access to that. There's no billionaire communist.
Straight up dark money.
He's like, I want to lose my money. Sorry.
No, straight up dark money. A lot of them like straight up just get like money that's like secretly funded to them.
How do we really not have an Engels? That is fucking kind of whack. How can there be not one billionaire? Just one. Unironically, just one. That's like, actually doesn't make sense for me, too.
Hassan Piker, bro.
We gotta start DMing
George
him.
Soros, bro. George Soros.
Come on, Hassan. I know you got a few bucks lying around.
G, bro, please. Why do you not want to?
No, yeah, I'm DMing Hassan. I'm like, give me, bro, I need $100 right now, please.
I'm running to Xi Jinping all the time. Like, bro, I'm glazing so hard. Please give like $50.
Maduro, I need you to chip in on my rent, man. Things are getting tough.
Bro, I don't know if you've been keeping up with what that dude's been up to lately, but I don't know if he's able to access those funds.
I know you're not using it, bro. I know you're not using that account.
It's near the four-digit pin.
I am 100% sure, though, that at some point some leftist, even creator, was like so toxic that they would like complain about the fact that another leftist creator is making much more money than them and being like, why don't you distribute that shit, bro?
Dude, they do that.
They do that? No, way.
I've heard it. I've heard it.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. People always try to pocket watch.
There's a word for it. There's even a word for it.
Yeah.
Pocket watch?
Bro, didn't know the word pocket watch?
Oh, yeah.
Show me
Pocket.
that.
How
What
do you
is it?
guys not know that? I mean, you must have thin pockets. You must have thin pockets because I'm always saying that shit.
I got
People are always
pockets.
glazing.
Yeah, because I don't talk about my pockets. There you go. That's why people don't talk about mine. I'm fucking with you. No, my love. Okay, but what does pocket watch mean? Please explain. I'm old.
Basically, if you're a left winger, you're not allowed to have any economic position.
Yeah.
If you're poor, they say it's the politics of envy and you're a fucking loser and that, you know, you're only a lefty because you can't make it. If you're rich, you're a champagne socialist, you're out of touch, you don't know what it's like to survive in the real economy. This is virtue signaling, blah, blah. You don't really believe it, etc. And if you're middle class, like if you have a professional job or you're making your way, but you have to work for a living, then they call your fucking boss, you know, and they try to get you fired, or they try to, you know, block your career advancement, or they sabotage you at professional organizations. So like nowhere in the economic strata can you stand where it's acceptable to be a left winger. And, you know, pocket watching is basically if somebody is like a prominent leftist, they make money, like maybe they even have $1 million. People are like, well, why aren't you donating it all? Why aren't you spending it all on charity? Why aren't you giving it away? Why aren't you redistributing it? You know, because it's a way of saying like distracting from the question of systemic issues or, you know, human universals or having a, you know, just society and turn it into, oh, he's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. Don't listen to him. He's not doing what, you know, he's not spending his money the way he says society should spend it, as a way of avoiding, you know, talking about whatever. So you pocket watch to distract.
Person's got their eyes in the pocket, not the, you know, the systemic issues, basically.
Exactly. And like, you know, if I donated every dollar I ever made, it wouldn't make one bit of difference in our society. But if I spend that same amount of money on organizing, I might make a difference.
No, but have you considered you could give that one, you know, that money to me? Right? Like, this podcast is 100% financed by you guys, the listeners. And we have to pay our editor. As such, you can find the rest of this episode over at patreon.com/thereactionpodcast, or just use the link in the podcast description. We are incredibly grateful to all of our supporters. If you're already a patron and you're hearing this, you are on the wrong podcast feed. Thank you all so much for listening.